because of this. And that's sort of the place that I come from now. And if it means sort of confronting people about their own stuff. And I say it with love, but at the same time, like, I'm not doing them any service if I don't say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an island of reality in a sea of diarrhea sometimes with people is how I feel. But yeah, man, I just try to deliver value from every angle, right? Like, so nutrition, strength and conditioning, movement, their mind-body piece is custom to the individual. It might be like getting an inner city kid meditating. It might be getting a pro athlete, working with someone for some visualization stuff, like my friend Mike Franco of Mental Buckets. Just stuff like that, maybe trauma release exercises. Maybe someone, you can't legally recommend psychedelics in my position, though people who are interested in that, I can provide education on what it does and, what I would do if I was in their, situation. And it was me, not them. And then sometimes from there that, they might do some of these things to help tune their nervous system, to help let go of things, as you mentioned earlier, so that they can perform better. So I tried to give some like concrete examples there, but in a nutshell, it's basically just looking at everything from their environment, their relationships, all the way to left brain things like light, nutrition, stuff like that. And then just looking at how someone's anxiety or personality trait or X, Y, or Z is playing out in the world, and then looking at like some of their labs and looking at some of their like health intakes and their lifestyle and being like, okay, well, this sort of biochemical imbalance is not the only reason why you're like that. You're like that because you're like that, but it's probably making things harder on you. And how can I wave and weave some things to help you feel better, help you perform at a high clip, win a world title, be able to show up for soccer practice for your kids after working a 10-hour day,
With your client base, is it all walks of life across the board? Or are you specifically just working with athletes? I know you had some stuff going on with the kids in Compton. Are you still rolling with that?
Yeah, man. I work with. I'm actually in there right now. It's like unincorporated LA.
Was that some of the background noises we were hearing before?
Yeah. I did as best as I could to get some isolation today, but yeah, there's always some music going on, stuff like that. So I work with a lot of student athletes, a lot of inner city kids. I work with high-end executives, like type A, high achievers, high performers, and a lot of that's in the health nutrition space. A lot of them have come to me for the psychedelic stuff. The kids, I just keep it simple. I just, have that rapport with them where, I genuinely care about them, so it's not like something I think about consciously doing. I just talk to them about their life and try to be there for them as a mentor and friend as much as I can. And, if we do something, it might be something basic like meditating and just getting them to breathe. And then I work with professional athletes as well. I work with some UFC fighters, high-level MMA fighters, some high-level developing athletes, like whether that means college or professional in other sports, a lot of basketball players mainly, and some fighters. And I would say mainly it's those plus executives.
Do you find...
I used to kind of try to niche to people. I mean, the way I look at it now is I have some gifts, and if I can help someone and they're willing to be helped, then I should help them instead of try to do one specific thing.
And is one more rewarding than the other? How are kids in Compton receiving you when you're asking them to meditate or to do some breath work?
Yeah, so the kids in Compton, how they respond to some of this stuff is not great, if I'm being honest, in the beginning, so I don't force it on them. I just eventually, usually I just get to know them first, and then maybe eventually I'll let them know, like, guys like, Kobe and Jordan and a lot of these high-level athletes all do this stuff. And so at that age, you kind of, whether it's healthy eating or that, if you tie it to athletic performance, fitness, them achieving their goals, it being cool, a lot of them tend to want to gravitate in that direction. I also think just listening to them as kids helps a ton too, and helps you have a relationship with them to when they're gonna listen to you.
Yeah, I was.
So you.
Go ahead. I was just going to say I coached high school cross country, wrestling, and track and field for 11 years, and it can be very frustrating, but it's a beautiful thing when they buy in and they get it, and then when the parents start to get it and everyone is all in, and then it's just that snowball effect and things start rolling. It's a beautiful thing to get them at that age where you can really kind of impact their lives. And when I first started, I was very goal results specific, and then as I've matured and got older, it became more about giving these athletes and these individuals a skill set so that they can take this with them, whether they continue to do this practice and they can do that for a lifelong, or they've just grown up and become men or women and have this skill set to go out into the real world.
Yeah, that's real good work. I mean, the fact that you did that, I mean, you probably touched a lot of people that way. That's more important than anything. It's more important than any specific exercise or way of training or anything like that. I mean, that's the most important thing. And it might sound corny, but it's the truth, and it's the truth. It's one of those things where, and I, in some ways, I'm looked at as a sports science guy because I'm into some of that stuff. At the same time, I don't want to miss the forest, the whole entirety of the forest, because I'm looking at a tree. So I don't just want to look at performance metrics or stuff like that. It's a lot of simple, I'm a huge fan of looking at performance metrics. At the same time, I also think seeing them develop as people is more rewarding. And at the end of the day, you're going to see more wins, less losses, better stats, more games available instead of being injured. Like that. Those are the things that, the head coach is going to want to care about anyways. And that's going to get you rapport with the head coach and the strength and conditioning coach and get everybody on the same page. I think just unity there helps.
Yeah, when everybody does better, everybody does better.
Yeah, exactly. And then winning cures everything. I do think head coaches need to kind of listen to the strength and conditioning coaches a little bit more. At the same time, I think strength and conditioning coaches, even though they might actually be the most important hire that a team can make, in some ways, or the training staff, medical staff, at the end of the day, it's the head coach's program, and that's just how it is, It's I don't try to change why birds fly. Same kind of thing. It's how it is, and you're going to ultimately have to be part of their program. Or if you're independent like me, you're going to have to work with them, and you might have to, pull away from what you wanted to do today with an athlete or athletes, and then do a different workout or shave off some volume or intensity in order to give them a workout that they can actually adapt to.
Couldn't agree more with that. We see the worst case of a head coach. We've been checking out season 4, Last Chance U, and it's cringeworthy if you haven't seen it yet. Just to see the way that Coach Brown interacts with his individuals and his coaching staff. But
oh no, dude! I mean, I've watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't seen the most recent season of that. I mean, I've seen a lot of that in the space. What's nice about me is that like I said, I have a shaved head. I have tattoos that go up to my neck, and so the coaches they're just oh yeah, this guy's the old school guys this guy's gonna be tough on the people, and so the same stuff that makes me an alien in the health, wellness, psychedelic space is the stuff that makes me fit in there. Meanwhile, on the back end, I'm the guy being sensitive with the kids and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, this guy, he's fit, he's he's got muscles, he's gonna whoop their ass, and then they come in here and they're like, oh wow, this guy cares about him, whether it's injury prevention and their biomechanics and everything, all the way to just the meditation, and then I'll whoop their ass. You know what I'm saying? In the right way that they can actually appropriately handle.
Yeah, we love it. We love everything you brought on today, Matt. We really appreciate you coming on. We want to let you get out here. Before we do, if you have any social media, anything people want to get a hold of you, get some more information from some of the stuff we talked about, if you want to put all that stuff out here now, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, and I've my shameless plugs, dude. Yeah, so you can go to rewireperformance.com. You can find me online on Instagram at Rewire Performance. I really only use Twitter to be funny and talk shit, although all my Instagram stuff gets, amongst friends or whatever. All my Instagram stuff gets shared there, though, so you're not really missing anything by following that, though I do have one. Those are the two main places. I do mentor and coaches. I do consult with coaches too. So if people are looking for that type of guidance, I can help. I also obviously help everyday people. I do work remotely as well as in person. So whether you want to train in person, whether you want to do an individual consultation, a lot of times when I'm working with everyday people, I'm really good at actually getting them to be able to not need me by the end of it, or maybe only need to sit down with me and do one consult a year after we do kind of an initial intensive program. So that's generally how I work with people. Obviously with athletes, they kind of always need to have someone's hands on their programming because of the off-season development. I just appreciate you guys having me on. This by far is my favorite podcast that I've ever done.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That means a lot. Like Richie said, we've listened to you a couple times and had an impact on us, and we wanted to have you on. So thank you very much, Matt.
Oh, yeah. Well, never let anyone big league you or anything like that. I mean, all this stuff, it's almost like the Grammys, dude. It's just a bunch of snobs patting themselves on the back. So I try to come on here and just, be myself and be relatable and not be some robot anymore. I had a lot of fun, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We had a blast, too, and we appreciate your kind words. And, thank you very much. We can't wait to put this one out for the people.
Yeah, definitely let me know when you guys do. I don't know if you guys have social media as well, but tag me in it and stuff, and then I can reshare it.
Absolutely. We'll put everything together. We got some promo clips and stuff. We're probably looking at 5-6 weeks from now. We've got a couple in the bank. We've just been trying to stockpile as we get ready to go into the school year here. But we'll get all that information to you. Jimmy will send it over to you with the links and everything. And, again, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Stay classy.
Yeah, buddy. Take care.
Bye.